What if the best-selling event is one where nobody is trying to win? Today we're heading to the Lake Pepin Small Boat Messabout with Tim Ingersoll and Bill Paxton. It's an event built around small boats, good company, and absolutely no racing. We talk about what makes Lake Pepin so special, why people keep coming back, why sometimes the best part of sailing is simply messing about with friends. Welcome back to the Nano Cruising Podcast with Stefan Marceau. Today we talk about the Lake Pepin Messabout. So today we have Tim Ingersoll and Bill Paxton. I've always wanted to reach out and talk about the maybe I'll mispronounce it. Lake Pepin Messabout, I guess that's what it's called. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Pepin?
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay.
Pepin.
Pepin, okay. I was using the French. So Lake Pepin is probably better. Right. So I guess for people that don't know, Tim and Bill have a lot of history with that. For people who don't know, if you could tell me what the event is about. It's been on, we know now, for 22 years. Let's start what the event is about.
Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, so I've been participating in the Lake Pepin Messabout for about, since I think 2018 was the first time I went.
Right.
Really what it is, it's a gathering of people who enjoy small boats, mostly people who have built their own, but also we'll get some production boats from time to time. It's located on this fat part of the Mississippi River, not far from the Twin Cities, if people know that area. There's a little city called Lake City that is just south, and they have this beautiful piece of property on Lake Pepin that used to be a Boy Scout camp. I think it used to be a fox farm at some point and something else.
Right.
But it's got some great history. It's just a beautiful spot. It's camping only. There are some group sites on the water, which is something that makes it really easy. People show up for a weekend, and it's usually a Friday, Saturday, Sunday event where people are showing up on a Friday and bringing their boats in, getting them launched. There's a short sail over to the site. We can kind of beach them or anchor just off the beach near the campground. And a lot of people will camp on site there in the group site. A few people will sleep on their boats.
Nice.
And I don't know, over the years, the ones I've experienced, we usually get, probably on average about 15 boats that show up.
Nice.
And a good number of people. And it's very unstructured. It's not a destination kind of sail. It's let's get together, let's hang out with each other, let's talk about what we're doing, share some things we've been doing, have a potluck together. And I think that's one of the things that makes it a little unique from some of the other messabouts, where they tend to be, from what I've seen, they seem to be more destination. We're going to meet, we're going to sail somewhere. This has been less about that and more about building that community.
Right.
So, and that's, for me, this year especially, I was thinking this feels more like a family reunion than anything else.
Yeah.
Getting together and people I see once a year. But it's just fun to share their ideas. It's family shows up, kids show up, spouses show up, whether they're interested in sailing or not sometimes. And I think that's one of the things that makes it real special.
Wonderful. So wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Bill, you probably have a little more history I've seen your name from way back, so
Yeah.
don't want to give it away. But yeah, tell us about what you know about the history and how that's all started.
Well, we have to go back to June of 2001. I had just launched my sailboat. I built a Stevenson Weekender.
Right.
And tested it once, and then we packed it up and drove to Yankton, South Dakota for the first messabout I had ever attended.
Okay.
Barely knew how to sail this new boat, still checking it out, but there we were. And there were probably only 3 or 4 other boats, but we had so much fun. It was unbelievable. Talking about how we built it, changes we'd made, learning from each other, from mistakes and ideas for the future, and what are you going to build next? And we ended up going back next year, 2002. finally I decided, this is a long way to go to meet with a couple of other boat builders. Why don't we do something local? So I organized what was called the Minnesota Messabout. We held it at Lake Nokomis, which is a very small lake in Minneapolis, inside the city limits.
Okay.
And it was fun, and a few more people came. We did it one more year, but there was no camping. It couldn't be more than a one-day event. People would just sort of show up and then disappear. So I started looking around, and we decided, let's move it down to Lake Pepin, where there's a campground, and we could do Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and let's change the name from Minnesota Messabout to the Lake Pepin Messabout, because I wanted to draw more people from Wisconsin and Iowa and nearby areas. And I didn't want to make it exclusively about Minnesota.
Right.
So we did that in 2005, and that was the very first Lake Pepin Messabout. And
there we go.
I was a little discouraged the very first day because it started to rain and hardly anybody had showed up. Then all of a sudden we were hanging out down at the boat ramp, and Greg Lindbergh pulled up with the strangest looking boat I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it picked up our spirits. He launched the boat. It's been a huge success, and it's been to every one of the Messabouts since then. And Greg is the one who now actually runs the Messabout.
Yeah, Greg took a nutshell pram hull shape and expanded it to an 18-foot boat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's got like a birdwatcher walk-through top,
Right.
with offset masts,
Right.
a little, platform that goes off the front.
Yes.
And it's a stable, fun, luxurious boat in terms of all kinds of room inside.
Nice.
So it's been a lot of fun.
Nice.
Getting a chance to sail with him and, other unique boats like that.
Yes. How has it changed over the years? I remember seeing, there's been a lot of Mikalak boats for some reason over there, right? And
Yes.
And PDRs, I guess there've been phases with PDRs as well, right? So,
Yes. We've had I just looking through all the pictures before we got online to do this podcast, and I was shocked at the number of types of boats that we've had. Everything from little homemade mouse boats, which are about the size of a kitchen drawer, to a Norwalk Island Sharpie, which is a two-masted, gorgeous boat.
I missed that one, but what a gorgeous-looking boat.
wow.
Oh,
Wow.
and everything in between.
Right.
So we've had dove keys and P-pens, and for production boats. We had a boat that I recognized from Wooden Boat Magazine that showed up one time. It was a Norwegian-styled boat that the family had cut the wood on their property, dried it in the kiln, and then assembled the boat.
Oh, wow.
So the variety has been wonderful. We had a guy and his son come up from Iowa with an old aluminum Grumman canoe with a sail,
Mm-hmm.
and they sailed all over Lake Pepin. So the variety, I think, has been more amazing than I would have ever imagined.
Nice.
I think we had a scamp. Well, I know we had a scamp in 2013, which
Yes.
must have been fairly early. I'm trying to remember when scamps started to become more popular. But Welsford. I have a John Welsford Navigator.
Nice.
That's the boat I've been bringing. But yeah, just this last year we had. I was looking at the list. There's a Gardner Dory skiff, a nutshell pram, outright a sooty tern, scamp, an Opscotch 17, a couple of sea pearls, and just a nice variety.
That's nice. Tim, tell me, as a somewhat newcomer, not really, 7 times, but what was the first time like? And you remember the moment you realized, this is something special?
I was trying to remember what it was like the first time. I'm a teacher, and this thing always falls on like that weekend of my last day of school, and it's just been kind of a crazy rush. can't even remember how I found out about it. But I remember that first year was the year that I decided that it'd be fun to pull my navigator up on a beach when there were some waves, and I got some gravel up in the centerboard case, and I could not get it down. I had to haul the boat out of the water, tip it over, and I just remember all these people there helping me figure this out. We probably spent 2 hours screwing around with it, and I still have somebody's screwdriver. Because I was not prepared for that.
Right.
But just that sense of camaraderie, just people are there to help and to get to know each other.
Yeah.
And very, very welcoming feeling.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a big part of what made me want to come back. I think sometimes clubs can be kind of insular, where this is my thing and this is my thing.
Right.
But I've determined that I like small boat people because I have
guilty.
It's like I just have not run into a small boat person that I haven't enjoyed being around.
Yeah, we've talked about this in the past. That's very true. Nobody, there's not that racing culture that, my boat's better than you and blah, blah, blah. I got more gadgets than you, whatever. There's none of that. There's none of that.
You mentioned racing. A few years back, we had a suggestion that maybe on Saturday we have a race from point A to B to C. And I said, no, we're not going to do any racing. I've raced sailboats for 3 or 4 years, and they always get contentious. Somebody's feelings get hurt, and that's not what we're about. We're just about, it's a mess about. We're just going to get together and mess about in boats.
So there's no plan to visit anything. You just go and sail whatever way you want and then come back and around a campfire. And,
yeah, exactly right.
That's a
We played around with the idea this year of extending a couple of days, and some of us were going to go up or down river depending on the weather and camp a night. And then, forecast was for all day rains and thunderstorms. We pulled the plug. So we have to do something like that. But I could see that as a possibility. But again,
absolutely,
it would be pretty low.
Yeah. So
low stress kind of event.
Yeah. And again, that's the kind of thing where if you want to do it, and it would be fun. There's not going to be a winter crown or anything like that. But.
Right.
Yeah. I guess you see a lot of creative boats and creative people that that come up, right? Always newcomers or is it pretty much the same group when newcomers?
It's fun to see the kids there.
Nice.
Participating. There have been some kids who have brought their own boats that they built with parents, and
nice.
Yeah.
You see some pretty creative things happen. We had a fellow show up one time, and once he got there, he realized he had left his dagger board at home. And so we had a fella named Steve Lewis, who was a boat designer and just a great guy, who always had tools with him. So he sent this this guy out to the store to get some wood, and Steve had with him a planer and a saw that were battery powered. And he made him a new dagger board right on the spot so the guy wouldn't lose the weekend of sailing.
Oh my God. That's great, isn't it? Great spirit of. Wow. So is it about people, about sailing, or get together? What is it about?
Yes.
All three.
You nailed it.
People come because they have the interest in sailing and the boats.
Yeah.
And the community, I think, is what brings people back.
Yeah.
And so, like last summer, one of the really great things for me is I'm not a high adventure guy. There's a gentleman who comes that I've gotten to know, John Hippie, who's done some crazy trips. Like he was going to spend a month on Reindeer Lake, up in the middle of Canada. That's not me. I'm just not going to do that. But last summer, five of us from the Lake Pepin group went up to Grand Island on Lake Superior and had a marvelous 4-day get together. There's a group of people that are going to go up with me to Rainy Lake in the Voyageurs National Park. And several of them I've gotten to know because of this Messabout. So that opportunity to network for other sailing opportunities has been another nice thing about this.
Nice. Any memorable moments to share? I know you had the one about the daggerboard issue. Any other ones?
We do seem to have a tradition of Sunday morning we go across the lake, and whenever we sail over, not every time, but it feels like it, it's a nice 10, 15 mile an hour wind. We go in, we have breakfast, we come out and it's blowing 30 knots.
Yes.
And we all sit there and go, oh gosh, we got to get home.
Yeah, and it's blowing 30 knots on your nose.
On your nose, of course.
On your nose, right. One year many of us, with my navigator, which is really, I'll take it up by myself when it's gusting over 30 and feel comfortable. But it's a little hard to sail into the wind sometimes when it's blowing that hard.
Right.
And so we ended up tearing across with mizzen and jib and mizzen, and the marina is straight across, and Greg had his car and trailer parked there, so we all just, that's good enough. We're not even going to try.
Nice. What about you, Bill? What have you seen over the years? The change, the people.
It's an amazing camaraderie that develops, as Tim was saying. One evening we were having a potluck back in the campsite, and the forecast was rain. And sure enough, it started to rain. Tarps appeared out of nowhere. People were working together to string them between the trees to create a shelter and make sure that the water didn't run off into the pots of cooking dinner.
Wow, nice.
But nobody complained. Nobody had a problem with it. It was just like, well, it's another problem. This is what boat builders do. We just solve problems.
Deal with it.
Yep. Figure it out.
Yeah. Sounds like a great community. I like it.
It's a great bunch. And it changes over the years. I mean, we've lost some members who have passed away who were great boat builders, like Bob Brown, and he had wonderful canoes that he would build, and kayaks and sailboats. Steve Lewis, who I mentioned, we've lost Steve, and a few others. But there's, young pups like Tim there who come and join us.
Why do you keep going back, Tim? You've gone 7 times, so.
I've gone 7 times, and I just retired, so I don't have that rush next year to get down there. Maybe I'll go down a couple days there.
You'll still be rushing the last minute. It's just the way it is.
Like all the things we've talked about, and it's just a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
The lake's about 20 miles long, and a couple miles, would you say, across, Bill?
At least a mile and a half across.
There's these big bluffs on either side of the Mississippi River. It's just gorgeous country.
Nice.
And so and the campsite itself is kind of a special place, I think. And that's just bonus points on top of all the things we've been talking about.
Right.
So why wouldn't I want to go back?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The camp itself is really nice. It's not overrun.
Right.
So we never feel like there's music from the next campsite that's preventing us from sleeping or anything. It's the trains that go by might do it. But there are train tracks that run up and down both sides of the Mississippi River there.
Yeah.
So you do hear an occasional train, but After a couple of years, you get used to it.
I don't even hear it anymore.
You also
That's
get
right.
the bald eagles parked in the tree above the camp group site, and
Yes.
that starts squawking at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. That's right. People go to bed early and get up early. Or how does that work? It varies.
Varies.
Yeah, it really does.
Maybe we have a lot of mosquitoes here. We tend to go to bed early because of the mosquitoes.
Yeah. I hear that.
Yeah.
Tim, you mentioned when this is held. You know why it's held when it is?
I don't.
Well, it turns out that Jim McCallick always held his Messabout at Rend Lake in southern Illinois the weekend before Father's Day. And so I decided we'd have ours the week before that. And then if anybody wanted to, they would come to the Lake Pepin Messabout and then go on down to Rend Lake, which is something that Steve Lewis used to do.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know that.
So you guys just had an event a couple of weeks ago, I guess, right? So
Yeah, we did.
how did that go?
We sure did. Gosh, it was beautiful. We had pretty great weather, wide variety of boats again. As Tim kind of read off the list of who was there, and it was well attended. And in fact, I think there were probably more boats this year than the year before.
I think there were 16 boats this year, but times 2 or 3. I mean, in terms of people,
Right.
we had a lot of people at the site, and so we get a group site. And I don't know if you've been camping lately, but it was what I end up with paying. Greg does a great job of organizing. He just pays for it and then collects money. But it was like $50 for the 2 nights, which is a pretty good deal.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So why do events like this matter in a small boat community?
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, boat building is a kind of a solitary activity.
Yeah, it is.
And to get to talk with other people who've had that experience is pretty invaluable. It's almost like a brotherhood of people who have shared an experience separately.
Right.
If you get my meaning.
Right. Yeah. Takes a special breed of people, definitely. It's nice to get them together, right?
Yeah, it is.
I know, too, that for some people, it's like making that jump. This is something you think about, you dream about. It's on the back burner. Can I really do this? And we've had some of those people show up. They hear about it and they show up and they get a chance to see and talk to people. I always say my book, the finish on it is looks good from 20 feet.
Right.
I want to go sailing.
Yes.
There are people who I think sometimes people see the museum pieces that some really skilled builders make and they go, I can't do that. And so they don't.
Yeah.
So I do think we create that opportunity for people too. And that's important. I can do this.
Yeah, it probably creates a goal for them too. I want to build for this event this time.
That's right.
You've had people that show up without a boat and then next year come up with a boat? Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody who has built a boat would encourage others to seriously consider it, if not start on Saturday. Just begin. I think that's a great idea, though, is just build one piece of the boat. Because you don't build a boat, you build pieces of boats, and then they go together, and then pretty soon, before you know it, you got a boat. But, build a tiller.
Right.
Just see how that goes. And then maybe build a rudder. See how that goes. And then that encourages it to do a little bit more and a little bit more. And pretty soon you're done.
Yeah.
I get to tell people about, the 3.5 years it took me to build my boat, $100 piece of plywood at a time.
Yeah.
And because I couldn't afford to just drop a few $1,000s at the time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I had a small garage. I did most of the small work in my basement. And it's just that. It's just building a bunch of fairly simple, small things. then putting them together and being able to have that conversation with someone who's considering is a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
And providing that encouragement to do that for themselves.
Right. So if someone is thinking going for the first time, what should they know?
Show up. I mean,
yeah. There's nothing you need to know.
Just
bring it down.
Just the date and
know that they're going to get invited. That everybody there is going to love to have them on their boat.
Yeah.
I mean, I love taking people out on my boat. That's one of the things that I enjoy about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I know everybody else that's there has the same attitude about, yeah, come take a ride, come do this. Here's the tiller.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Do you think this is probably an obvious question? Sailing World needs more events like this? Why only one per year?
Well, from time to time, I did organize other ones. One year we had a second smaller messabout. It was called the Gaffer Gathering. It was only for boats that had four-sided gaff rigged sails.
Okay.
And so that was a lot of fun because you don't see those very often.
No.
To see a flock of them out there on the water at once is kind of cool. And once we had one called Boats of Unusual Sail, and it was anything that didn't have a Bermuda rig. So that was interesting too.
Yeah.
I always thought it'd be fun to bring a Chinese junk, but I never got around to building one of those.
You put the bug in somebody's ear, maybe. Maybe they will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I think, in this part of the world, the sailing season is relatively short, unfortunately.
Yeah, you and me both. Yeah.
So that plays in. And these aren't all, 65-year-old retired guys. So people are holding down jobs, and I do think that makes it a little bit harder to.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
And I like to get out and explore. So for me, this is my once a year reconnection, with these folks. And then I've been working at trying to get some other, using social media gets a bad rap. It's awesome for this type of thing. Being able to connect with people around the world who have become friends, people locally who get out and day sail.
Totally.
Or do a short weekend.
Totally. It was so disconnected before that, right? So.
Yeah, it was just hard to find people, and then I've met people in town here in the Duluth Superior area where I live who have been around for years, and I never had a clue until I ran into them on Facebook or some other such site.
Nice. So what's your makeup? You mentioned it's not all 65 years old. So what kind of people show up there?
We, like I said, Greg and his daughter built a nutshell pram, right?
Yes, nice. What
a
great project for father-son.
And his kids and grandkids have shown up to many of them.
Nice.
There's another young man who came with his son. I think he was like a 12 or 13-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
There's another family with their 3 kids running around. So like I've said, it's that I think is one of the unique things about this. And I'm not sure why it developed that way, but
that's nice.
I think, Bill, I don't know. I mean, how did we end up with that?
Well, there was a lot of strategic planning behind.
Not really.
No, it's just a great time for, if you want to take your family to a beautiful spot to camp and hang out with some really friendly people and learn about boats at the same time, you can't beat it. So over the years, we've had a lot of kids. Kids love to play in the water. I've never seen a kid who didn't want to play in the water. So whether they have a boat or they're, just a bucket and shovel and they're playing on the beach, they always seem to have a good time.
I love it because I want to make sure the next generation gets into it and the younger people too, not just the 60 plus, right? So,
exactly. Yeah. I'd love to see some younger men and women building boats.
Yeah.
Late teens, early 20s.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some of that. I've seen it. It's coming back, which is nice to see. So
That'd be great.
yeah, looking forward to next year. Do you
Yeah, I
plan
think
a
next
year
year's-
ahead, or is there it just kind of
It's already on the
happens?
books.
It's on the books.
We know when it's going to be.
Right?
But I would encourage any of your listeners that want to watch for it on Facebook, because we're really the messages get posted. Look for the Lake Pepin Messabout and join the group.
Yep.
And feel free to make plans and come join us.
I've been playing around. My production value is low, but I've been having fun creating some videos.
Nice.
And this year was I think it came out nice. I just got a nice glimpse of what it's like for the weekend.
That's
so
great.
I think if they hopped on the Facebook site and looked at that video of the 2026 Lake Pepin Messabout, that would give them a good feel for it.
That's great. I'll make sure I link that in the description. I'm pretty sure I've seen it too, so that's great. Yeah, good idea.
So come December, January, everybody starts. I know I start going. All right, are we thinking about it yet?
Yeah, exactly right.
Let's make sure it's on my calendar. And what do I have to do with my boat this winter to make sure I'm ready to roll?
Right.
Exactly right.
That's awesome. So thank you for your time. I think this has been fantastic, and really wanted to know about this because I've been hearing it for years. I gotta go. I never it's a good distance, but I've heard about it, so it's great to hear from firsthand about it.
There are probably a couple of messabouts that have been around longer. I think Cedar Key Messabout down
That's
in Florida.
the other one. Yes, that's right. We've talked about it too. Yes.
Oh, have you?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Oh, you really cover the waterfront stuff.
Good. Well, thank you very much, guys. It's been wonderful,
Thanks,
fun talking to you. And
It's been great fun. Thank you, Steph.
All right. Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
These messabouts are one of the best ways to meet fellow people, because let's face it, we're really, really a niche, and share ideas and just enjoy the time together. Thanks again for joining us. This podcast wouldn't exist without you. Join us on our Facebook group to find like-minded people. Join us on our email list at nanocruising.com if you want to be up to date on episodes and such things. Of course, tell everybody about it that you know that is interested in small boats. That's probably the best way to support us. And totally optional, there's always the Patreon, where we'll release the episodes first, and there's also some merch available. Thank you, everybody, and as usual, seize your own adventure.
No inches humming, no engine roar, just a little boat and an open shore. Canvas snapping, the kettle's on. World feels big when the boat feels small. We don't need much, just wind and tide, a charter compass and time to ride. Nano cruising, small boats, big seas, long jet dawn. Go where you please, trailer down, mast goes up, freedom fits in a coffee cup. Nano cruising, cast off the rules of their lies in the smallest hulls. Beach for a harbor, stars for a roof, salt on the deck and stories for proof. From quiet creeks to a weathered bay, if it floats, we're on our way. No marina lights, no golden gate, just the pull of wind and the call to wait. Nano horizon, small boats, big seas, oars and sails, and blistered knees, simple lug or gaff. Plans go wrong, and we laugh. If you can tow it, if you can row, there's a long way left to go. Nano cruising, small boats, big seas, real adventure, no guarantees. If you've dreamed it, if you dare, there's a ramp somewhere.